live streaming again with um am I live streaming? Yeah, I am streaming. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm live streaming again. I'm back. Before I get too far, I was already working on. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going with this. I don't have a design or anything. I'm just eyeballing it. I do have a concept in my mind, though. My brain ball, my mind ball, my God-given head, my thoughts that come from whence they came. Anyway, so I've got an idea. What I'm doing here is I'm gonna have an arcade, and I'm gonna want people to play, blah blah blah, and then I'm gonna have a sidebar that that sidebar is gonna have some stuff. It's gonna have that's where the navigation is gonna be, and I'll also throw in some other things. But that's where the concept is. The navigation will be over here. I'll be able to jump between games. But I think I'm going to do the game on the right hand side and the information on the left hand side, because for some reason that's catching my attention better if I just did it that way. So let me see. It means I need to do this. X. And I am using Bootstrap 4. Oh look, that did not come out the way that I had hoped it would. So for some reason, why is this is not working out like I liked. Let's go see if this does 2. I wonder, no it doesn't, it just does it. And then let's go with 3, and then that means I'm gonna have to mess with CSS, and I'm not that great with the designer. I'm not entirely sure why this is doing that. They are supposed to be block, as far as I understand it. So I got the header. That's just a normal bam, bam, bam. That should all be column large 3. Then you got your router outlet. It could also be something along those lines, but let me inspect. It could be that I need to do some. I'm trying to select an item. Let's see, it's got a height and a width. So the canvas itself has the height and the width. So I'm trying to put, some style going on. Let's see, body, all that scripting. Okay, I guess, where did the, oh wow, all this comes out. Okay, I get what this is. This is a document that's coming out of the iframe. So that's kind of interesting. So that means I have to get in some HTML maybe, and toss it from one arcade. So I don't know how I'm gonna necessarily do that. That's some design stuff with HTML, and so I'm gonna have to figure that out, what I'm gonna do, because I don't think I like it on the left hand side, on the right hand side. So for some reason, let's go ahead and put a float left on this class over here. So app header. So that's this app header. Maybe that's the reason why. App header, and we'll put it an ID. ID equals, and we'll call it app header. Let's see if this works. This is the app component. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the app component CSS, which is right here, and go app header, and we're going to go float left. So let's see what that does. That does not do what I wanted it to do. So over here, ID app header class, we'll do router header, we'll do the same thing, ID router outlet. And let's see if this does anything. I honestly don't know if the CSS affects that too much. Router outlet float, and I think you would do float right. I might be doing this wrong, but that is not doing anything like I had hoped it would do. So for some reason that is not doing what I'm wanting it to do. So that's a lot of HTML. Because I really want that game on the right hand side. So I may have to just do, because I'm gonna have to do this component. Let me see, I've got this component, and maybe this is just not working out in a way that I kind of like. So why is this not? Let me get rid of all this nonsense. I don't need that. Let's try this again. Get rid of all that, and then this CSS, we'll get rid of that. So now you'll see it just does it by itself automatically. That's interesting. So I wonder if I even need this row. Let's take out this control, comment that out, and come out this out, and let's see what that looks like. So the bootstrap, I just want to go ahead and take this out, and let's get rid of this. So this is kind of what I'm looking for right here for some reason. Why does that do exactly what I'm looking for some reason? That's HTML for you people. So maybe I just need to, I get a row, and then I could just potentially, if you think about it, app component, CSS, is get rid of that, into the header. If you go to the header, I'll do class header, and I'll do column 4. Let's see what that does. Column 4. So that does not quite do what I'm thinking. Let's see, column, and then let's go column 4. Yeah, let's just say column 4. So this has to do probably with just the size of what I've got going on here. So I got game 1, game 2, game 3. So and I really need to get better with HTML. So if you notice HTML, I'm kind of like, I gotta do like little back cards. It's just so it's different than programming, and so I don't really spend that much time on it other than in my little like these templates. So let's try header column 4. Now let's go to the game component, and over here let's get rid of this justify content center and go with column 8. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, look, that changes that up quite a bit. So why does that only do like that? And then it does have a width on it, so I'm changing the width somehow. And this is column 8. Let's go column LG8. Let's see what that does. Doesn't do anything, and I didn't think it would. So why is the page okay? So now if you think about it, my problem is I probably got this container. Let's get rid of this fluid, and let's see what ends up happening. So now check this out. Okay, now I'm getting an idea, a concept of what's going on here. My problem here is that this container, it's probably got some inspect. I mean, how big is, let's see, let's go to elements. We're going to go to the body. We're going to go to app root. We're going to do NB content, this NG content, this stuff, app header. So NG content is where it's got its own, let's see, div class row. That's where, oh, here we are, the container. Here's the container. So you notice how big the container is. So the container is that big, and for some reason, let's take a look. We can figure this out. That's how big. So I need to do bootstrap. Tell me what to do. I need to do 100% or on the height, and let's see. So that's got to be something. That's bootstrap. And that's bootstrap 4. So maybe I'm not I'm not looking at, Bootstrap 3 was a little bit different, quite a bit differently. So they got rid of some stuff and changed some things. So I'm using a beta version. So it could also be, that they're doing crazy things. So I don't even know what they've got. What is these flex boxes, for example? This is quickly manage the layout, alignment, and sizing of grid columns, navigation, components, and more with a full suite of responsive flexbox utilities. For more complex implementations, custom CSS may be necessary. So now I'm looking at Bootstrap. Apply display utilities to create a flexbox container and transform direct children elements into flex items. Okay, flex containers and items are able to be modified further with additional flex properties. So now I got to worry about flex. I'm an inline flexbox container. So what does this mean? Direction. And so you can set the direction. So I think I might need to figure out these flex items, because that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm thinking I'm looking for some sort of flex item that, even when you make it smaller, the game's going to play. So I'm going to end up having to do a lot of CSS, working with some CSS. And I might not even use too much Bootstrap, because now that I'm thinking about it, this seems kind of strange. The Bootstrap, I guess, isn't. Maybe I'll just use I'll use media queries outright. Let me see, justify content, all of this, align items. I don't know how to use these flex boxes. So display position. So what's position all about? For quickly position relative. Oh, those are the positions. Screen rating, spacing. So these are spacing, margin, padding. So I need to figure out these flex boxes, I think, and float, because I always forget what float does. Okay, flex. Alright, well then, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop that, because I need to do some sort of HTML research and study, and I'm probably just going to be messing around with this until I get it into a decent layout, because I'm going to just use that header layout, and that's where I'm going to put in some stuff, and I'm going to put the game in. But that looks like the general concept of what I'll be having. I'll have the game playing out on this side, and then I'll have some information playing out over here, and you'll be able to play these games and go to different games, and maybe I'll make it look nicer and prettier over here. But that is the general concept, people, and that is what I'm working to do right now on with High Plains Design Studio. And I'll probably have it out sometime in the next few weeks. I'm making a website probably for it, and I'm gonna make a whole bunch of these little games, and that's just what I'm doing. All right, see you later. Subscribe. Thanks for listening.